Parshiyot, Behar, and Bechukotai, the final double portion of Sefer Vayikra, or the book of Leviticus. And like any good finale, it ties everything together and warns you not to info binge without some personal, internal reflection. So, what's the one main theme that runs through the double portion? In a word, accountability. Parsha Behar introduces the Shemitah, or the sabbatical year, and Yovel, the year of Jubilee. These are radical laws about land ownership, rest, and economic reset. These ever-returning cycles force society to, first of all, acknowledge that the land belongs to Hashem and not to us. To remember that freedom is not a divine right, not a permanent entitlement of the rich or the poor. And finally, treat each other with dignity as brothers and not as property. So Behar is all about building a society rooted in divinely ordained values of justice, equality, and trust in source. You could almost call it a deist manifesto with agricultural metaphors. The second Parsha, Bechukotai, is all about consequences. This is where it hits hard. It's the if-then chapter of Torah. For example, if you walk in my statutes and keep my commandments, blessings rain down. But if you reject me and break the covenant, cue the curses, tochacha. It gets dark fast, can lead to exile, famine, fear. It's a cosmic slap to the face. This is the Torah saying, look, the covenant is not a slogan. It's a living contract and ideal. Actions have consequences. Just as Shemitah and Yovel reflect divine structure, the blessings and the curses show how breaking that structure leads to societal collapse. Not because Hashem is angry or vengeful, but because Source created human beings to be stewards of its creation and act as its representatives, made in its image and likeness. And as God's ambassadors, a certain level of behavior is required to adequately fulfill the roles for which we were all created. To run counter to godly instruction will not only delay or curtail Hashem's will and purpose, but, like all things in this duality universe, there must be the old yin-yang, positive-negative, heads-tails outcome to all actions made by us, God's representatives. It is here in this final dual Parsha, that we can really see that all of our actions have consequences, both good and evil. So what then is the unifying thread? Rather, in the laws of Behar or the ultimatums of Bechukotai, the message is clear. You and I, we are not the ultimate owner, not of the land, not of the people, not even of time. Source is. Therefore, live accordingly. There is accountability to Source, accountability to society, and accountability to time itself. How does this apply today in our so-called modern 21st century world? In a world where we bulldoze natural cycles, treat people as commodities, and redefine truth as opinion, this double Parsha is a warning light. It says, hey, humans, you're tenants here, not landlords. Stewards, not owners of creation. And rent is due in kindness, rest, justice, and faith. Behar teaches you the rules. Bechukotai tells you what happens when you ghost the landlord. Behar, Bechukotai, isn't just ancient wisdom, it's current events wrapped in divine instruction. As we close out Leviticus during this Shabbat, I would encourage you to be strong, and may we all be strengthened. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. I'll see you next time on Shmu's Views, and until then, I want to wish you Shabbat Shalom.